welcome to another episode of On This Table, and I'll be your host for this episode. So, On This Table is a program where we discuss topical issues concerning the environment, and today we'll be discussing a very wonderful topic with a very wonderful guest. So, please stay tuned as we go on a quick commercial break.
My name is Bukola. I'm a dedicated wife. I'm blessed with two beautiful children. I am the creator and the creative director of In Between I Stand. And the beautiful thing about the Kingsprimetv is it's an app. I can decide to use it on my television. I can decide to use it on my phone. And of course, I have an iPad. I can decide to use it on my iPad. There is no boring moment with the Kingsprimetv, especially the way it gets me close to my culture day by day. I'm a busy mom, and sometimes I just want to be on my bed, alone with my laptop, watching the Kingsprimetv. It is the best thing ever. And I'm not connected to just one aspect of the Kingsprimetv. I could decide to watch TV shows like The Big Nigerian Wedding, or probably go for a series. Lots of beautiful things on the Kingsprimetv.
In Africa and beyond, more and more people are finding Kingsprimetv, a rich hub for entertainment. With a monthly subscription fee as low as $7.99 US, you too can enjoy seamless, world-class HD entertainment that will inform, educate, entertain, and enthrall you. Join us today. Visit kingsprimetv.com to enter into a whole new dimension of entertainment. Kingsprimetv. Entertainment just the way you like it.
Okay, welcome back, my lovely viewers. And with me here is the person I was talking about, our wonderful and amazing guest, Chukwu Justice. So, Chukwu Justice, how do you feel today?
I feel great.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Are you looking at man? Okay, so today we'll be discussing something very delicate, and it's called youth and education. Youth and education. First of all, we all know what's education. We all have an idea of education. But I would just want you to tell me what you feel education is.
Okay. First of all, I'll say thank you for this privilege given to me to be on this platform. Now, what education is from my own point of view simply means a medium by which an information is being passed across to individual, either formally or informally.
Wow, that is amazing. So education is a medium by which information is being passed across, whether formally or informally. But okay, can you expatiate on that formally? What do you mean by formal education or informal education?
Okay, speaking of the formal and informal education. Formal education is the kind of education we receive in what I call it, in the four walls. Yes, under a particular curriculum. While the informal is the one you receive outside the four walls of a school.
In the formal, you receive it in a can you say it like
school setting?
Okay, like a classroom
Yes,
setting.
a classroom setting.
A classroom setting. While the informal, you it's like okay,
More or less like going to maybe
going to learn work.
learn here.
Like all these mechanic guys.
Yes,
how
they are
they
used
how
to
they go.
education.
Okay, how they go. Okay, wow, that's amazing. Okay, but first of all, I just want to talk about something that has been blocking my mind. You know, presently, I believe you all know this, that presently we hear people saying that this education is, or going to school is not important and all that. I just want to hear I just want to hear what you say. I just want to hear what you say. How do you view that statement there? Because just how do you view this statement?
Okay, to me, that statement that going to school is not important, right? Or education is not important, I don't think is the right statement. Like I said, education is either formal or informal. Yes, so in whatever way you do it, you surely do receive education. Okay? Like if you don't have knowledge over a thing and I come to let you know the knowledge or teach you the knowledge, I have educated you. Okay? So education is important because without education, obviously you and I will not be here today. Yes, so education is important.
Okay, but why do you think? Thank you for highlighting that. But still, although yes, some So some people still believe that education, but people still despise going to school. Why do you think people despise it?
Okay. Now, from the definition or from the explanation of the importance of education, education and school are two different things.
Okay, yes, that's true.
From the definition of education, from the definition of what I gave, informal and the formal. So education and school are two different things. Going to school might not be necessary per se, but education is necessary. Yes.
Okay, but do you think the reason why, because as we all grown up, we see where they say that you must go to school, you must go to this, you must go to that. Do you think the reason why people despise or have despised education as a whole, you think the reason for that is because they are being forced to go to the formal classroom, as you said, education, formal education is when you go to a classroom. Do you think that's the reason why people have that
mindset?
Yeah, mindset.
Well. Concerning the mindset, I don't know if I would agree to that fact that some persons actually despise education because they are limited to that formal education. Most persons are forced into the formal education. And knowing that there's also another means of learning outside going to the school, some persons are seeing it as it's a burden to them for you to just put them in a classroom and make them go through sense of curriculum from year to year over a period of time. Whereas they can as well just go into this thing for a short period of time and they gain almost the same knowledge. For example, one who is not opportune or is not financially buoyant to pay his or her school fee and has this desire towards engineering can as well decide to go through the roadside mechanic and learn in the informal way. And you say it now. So now the person learning in this informal way now has helped the person to achieve his dream outside going the four walls of school. So some persons might look at it in this way and feel that putting me into the four walls of a university is just more or less like trying to some persons see that wasting of time. Yeah.
And what even adds to that is how to enter Nigeria as what contributes to that is the fact that I have a friend that spent 30 years in school. I went 30 years in school.
Can you imagine?
Yeah. Wow. So that means the informal form of education is getting more preference.
Yes.
Due to the fact that you particularly don't need to rely on maybe your body or
financially. If you're not buoyant financially,
if you're not financially buoyant,
yes,
you can still engage in that form of education. So you can say so that means quote unquote that it's not particularly it's not particularly education as a whole that people despise.
Yes, it's the schooling system.
Yes, yes. But okay, that aside. Let's keep that aside. But I want to talk about something because there's a friend of mine that I have, still have. She told me something. She told me that she hates school, and why she told me that was, I asked her why do you hate school? Then she said that this thing I'm studying, that I don't want to, my parents are forced me this, that. So that stuff. That's I would say that parents are also contribute to the fact that people do not enjoy schooling or education because they force their children into something they don't want to do. And at the end of the day, they will go into the university. They will spend 13 years in school. 30 years in school for what they don't like. but why is it? Because I believe by God's grace we are in a new era.
Yes.
But why is it like that? Why do parents force? Sorry, I'm
Okay.
just
Okay. I get your question. You are trying to know why parents force their child into a particular line of discipline.
Because it really affects a lot of people.
Okay, most of the times you don't really blame the parents who are doing this. Reason being that a parent who has seen or has gone through stages of life, while coming up, and you're made to understand or have this mindset that there is this particular thing you need to study before you start making the money. There's this particular discipline you will go into and the money is there. Like some parents feel that medicine provides more, engineering provides more. I get me now. So they don't actually want to see their child go into school to go and study, let me say, kinetics, human kinetics. Or you see your child is studying fish in school. They will ask what's the meaning of all this, what happened. They want to see that professional course. Let me put it that way, professional course. So most parents would force their child outside the child's choice to go and study a particular course. Sometimes it happens that the parent in question is in that field and wants his child to join that field. Maybe he has set up a future for that child in that field. Maybe, for example, I have a friend who his father is a civil engineer and the child wants to go into music, but the father insisted that the child must go into civil engineering. So he gained admission into civil engineering, but while in the same line of discipline, he went into music without the father knowing. Yes, without the father knowing. Without the father knowing why he was in school, he was doing music. So it got to a point in time where his song came out, and obviously the father heard it. There's nothing he could do. I said that is the case of you forcing your child into something he doesn't like. He might end up in that field, and whether he comes out with the third class, or he comes out with nothing, because most of the times his concentration is not there. His concentration is not there, obviously. So that's the case where parents want to force their child, which is wrong. You allow your child to make his choice. And even if you want to help, then you should help the child knowing fully well that the child has this passion for this thing.
Yeah, because that is something they talk about. Because there was, I want to talk about myself. So there was back then when I wanted to enter university, I'm referring to the fact that parents should at least try, as you were saying, parents should at least try and understand what the child wants to know. So back then I said I wanted to be a medical doctor. Although now that I think of it, Jesus, thank God. So back then I said I wanted to be a medical doctor, and well, I applied to uni. Like I wrote all the exams. I passed. But something happened. My father was. I think of my father. My father was always telling me that see, if your grades in this particular subject, this particular course you are claiming you want to go for, it is wrong. You should not go for it. Then when everything, the whole admission thing was like it was done in England, my father now sat me down one day because he knew I was making a mistake. Now I know I am making a mistake, and now at that point I knew I was making a mistake. So what happened was that when he spoke to me, by God's grace, I was able to end or go from that one to another one. But there's something else I want to ask you, but before I ask you, let's just go for a quick commercial break.
Kingsprimetv is a one-stop entertainment website for live sports, news, reality shows, and top-notch Nollywood movies. Log in to our website, www.kingsprimetv.com, or download our app on any of our iOS devices or your Android phones, any one of them. Just download and you get your movies and all entertainment stuff just the way you like it. Welcome again to Kingsprimetv.
Welcome back. So, as we were discussing before, I was talking about how parents and the children should relate in picking the right path in the educational system. That if not for my dad, I would have picked medicine. I would pick medicine. And now when I think about medicine, I just thank God because I would have failed. I would have failed in university, Jesus, because I hate anytime I think God. Even going to the hospital is ourself sometimes a problem. I think seminars at least should be going on concerning parenting. Because a parent has a lot, or I feel, I don't know what you feel. Do you feel the same thing? I feel a parent has a lot to contribute inside what a child should be.
Okay. From my own understanding or from my own view, the parent has, if I'm to rate 1 to 10, the parent has 6. 6. Why I say 6 is this. They were in this world before the child. And having gone through some certain experiences in life, they have more experience than you, the child. Get me? So from that experience that they have gotten, they should be able to guide you. Now, the rating of the child, which is just 4, is at the point where the child has this talent. Has this talent. And from that talent, the child can actually say, yes, this is what I want. Okay? This is what I want. This is what I feel moves me. This is what I feel drives me, makes me happy whenever I'm doing it. So if you bring it together now, the parent now needs to look at the child from that 4, look at the child's desire, and now advise the child on what to do.
But
not imposing. Advise the child on what to do. And it's left for the child to now take either from the parents or from his own desire. Yes.
So that means that when a child or when the parent sees what the child can do, they should now decide the form of education that the child should go through. Yes. But that did bring me to that point because I saw something that in the US, that in the educational system, that there are schools. I'm not talking about all these go and learn work. Aside from the normal English, maths, biology thing, there are schools dedicated to teach you those kind of works.
Technical.
Yes, those kind of things. Schools dedicated to teach you. Let's say if you want to be a dancer, they have schools of
talent.
Yes, they have schools of that. They have music, school for music, school for arts and crafts, school for this. But when you come over here, you see that if you don't go to university, you are a failure. But I'm sorry, but this is actually an issue because if the country or society doesn't find a way to bring something, it can lead to something else. Because as you said, the child may want maybe know how to dance or sing or something, and we need to go outside the normal 4 walls of the school. That's learn it. Yes. But when there is no standard or organized place for the child to learn it can cause a problem. Yeah, I believe we are when you can only say you want to go to just one garage to learn mechanic work, you can short sight the parents.
Okay, I understand where you're coming from. This, like when the roadside mechanic is looking at integrity. That's where you're coming from.
Yes.
Because it's kind of
she
downgraded.
downgraded.
Knowing the fact that you finish from secondary school,
That's good. Now
you
go
now
to
go
the
and
side.
and every now and then you are stained with black and everything. Well, it's our system, like you said. Over there, the opportunities created technical schools. We also have technical schools here in Nigeria. Yes, yes, we do. We have technical schools in Nigeria, and they train people on this. We have technical schools. Yes.
But they are not pronounced.
They are pronounced to an extent. I'm trying to remember one somewhere in Port Harcourt. They are pronounced to an extent. Technical school. We have them. We have them. Where you go and learn, like in terms of computing, engineering.
Okay.
Yes, we have schools for that. In terms of name them, we have schools that take up that responsibility to teach in terms of technicality. So, like where you're coming from, the integrity where you after school you go and learn mechanical side, you are always staying with oil and the rest of them. It shouldn't be an issue. It shouldn't be an issue. For example, I know of a friend, a mechanic, that is doing very well. Very well. What he did was, after learning and setting up his own, putting people in place to handle his business, he now went to school. He now went to a poly, because polytechnics have that responsibility of doing in technical things, practical things. So he now went to a poly to further in that engineering aspect, just to get the certificate. It makes no difference anyway. It makes no difference.
Okay. You shouldn't be able to. So
it shouldn't be a barrier.
A barrier.
Yes.
A barrier. Okay. Because why I'm saying that because I'm not saying that I won't, if I was a father, that I wouldn't allow my, but I'm just saying I would feel
the integrity.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be a barrier at all.
I'll feel the vision.
Because we have people who have finished school, graduates, who now go back to learn. So which would be better? So like you finish secondary school, you go and learn mechanic, you have that oil stain and everything. Then you finish the university and you come out, you are not able to get a job. You now start going to learn mechanic. Which would be better?
The first one.
Because people will look at you and say, is this not this young man who has finished university? He has finished serving, and look at what he's doing.
Okay. But I still feel, or I'm still of the opinion that the thing should be more structured. I'm still of that opinion. I'm not saying I agree what you said. What you said is very good, but I'm still of the opinion that it should, that at least maybe how structured. Yeah, it should be more structured. Like it should be more structured. But going back to the former system of education, there's also something I noticed that that this, because we were talking about how somebody will stay as in school for 13 years and then come out frustrated. I feel that thing should be addressed. I feel it should be addressed. How do you think it can be called? Because let's not forget, private schools do not go through that sort of thing. If you come in and the course you're supposed to stay in is 4 years, you stay 4 years. Because that prolonging, if let's say, like you said the child can decide to be in school, then come out and do mechanical work. But if the education is being prolonged for 13 years,
that's a maturity.
Please, I need to talk about this.
Okay, if I understand where you're coming from, you're speaking from the point where one gains admission and maybe due to strike,
yes,
or one thing or the rioting and the rest of them, the child now stays more than expected. Well, the blame is on the government. The blame is on the government because the schools, the educational system is really tampered with. That's tampered because one, you would not blame, like for me, I went into school and the course of 4 years, I ended up spending 6 years, if not more. 6 years. Why? Because of ASU strike. Now that's where the whole frustration comes in. Now, just imagine someone who is studying medicine, which is 7 years course, and because of ASU, you have to stay 9 years in that school. You see the level of frustration. Such persons, even while the study is going on, will lose it, because at the point in time while I was in school, I lost interest, because while you're on the ASU strike, you go home, you find yourself just doing at home doing nothing, and maybe peradventure you are able to get 1 or 2 jobs. You get familiar with that job, and they will call up the strike. You going back to school, I promise you, your mind will be on that job because of what you are being paid. So you might just lose the whole interest, the whole academical interest. You might just lose it. So to me, I will put the blame on the government concerning that area. Because you talked of the private schools. You and I know that private schools, they set themselves.
Yeah.
The government has refused to pay salaries to the lecturers and other infrastructures that are supposed to be paid for. So you then expect, you as a lecturer, you are lecturing for, let me say, 2 years and you're not being paid. You run expenses on your car, you feed, you have a family, you pay school fee, you pay house rent, you pay utility bills, and you come to school, you lecture year to year and you're not being paid. How do you feel? So this alone has, will I say, thwarted, it has tampered with the system, and the system can no longer remain the same.
Well, sorry. Well, like you said the cost is from the government.
Yes.
But personally, I don't know if you agree with me, but personally, I feel also the cost is from the universities. Okay, how you ask? Is because personally, I feel universities are, you'd agree, are places to conduct researches.
Okay.
Am I right? Okay. They are places you can conduct researches. So I think there was something that was happening in, I think, Nigeria, or I can't remember the country particularly, but I think it was a matter of this black suits or
Okay.
Yes. So then it was said, or I heard, that a university in, is it Sweden or Norway, university then conducted a research concerning the problem going on in another continent, solved it, and they made billions with it. So what I'm saying is that why I feel the problem, because if the university, let's say maybe a university like Milan, should make such a research concerning a problem, they would not particularly need to rely on the government. That's why I just, because if I as a university, I would just give maybe finance, go and conduct this research, make a I don't know, a solar whatever, or
There's something I have to say.
okay, maybe a solar panel, or a bike or something, or a new car. They'll never be paid, because you can't say you buy the idea and not pay them. They will definitely be paid.
Okay. Can I say something?
Okay, so
Now you're talking of research. Okay. You need to be reminded that most research are done with tools, proper instruments, and please supervise this instrument.
the government.
Thank you. So if there is no proper provision for these things, there is no way such research will be done in any school. And you get it? I myself, while I was in school, there are levels or certain research which the students will want to do, but we don't have proper instruments on it. So there is no way we can carry it out. When you request for it, we begin to give you one excuse or the other. All because it's not available in the lab. We know that it's not available, we just die the matter. So the government is also responsible for providing these things. And that is where the infrastructure and the rest of them comes in. And that is why they need to pay. So you're talking of the school in Sweden that did their research and whatever. If it happens here, two things is involved. Politics will play in. You and I know in Nigeria, politics will play in. One person might just decide to keep the thing to himself, or This, you know our country now. You know. So everything still boils down on the government provision of what proper infrastructures and everything.
Wow, okay, you got to me now. Wow. So the base or the roots of the problem is about what they are saying. You see, they are saying it. I said, no, we have to be careful. Let's be guided. You know, I said, so the root of the problem is the government. According to Chukwu justice, the root of okay, that's a wow. So if the government, okay, that means the government over there providing very well.
Providing proper.
Very well.
Yes. For the universities.
For the universities.
Yes.
Universities. And even that government issue, I want us to talk about that one too. I want us to talk about that one soon. Because
We are deviating from our topic.
no, no, I'm not. We are not deviating.
Are you
We
sure?
are not deviating. I want to talk about the fact that a whole minister of education, he shall be.
Oh, is that the issue we want to discuss?
Yes, he's okay. Just I don't know the word.
Well, that's appalling, to be sincere. Because like I said, I was supposed to do a course of 4 years, I ended up doing 6 all because of ASU strike. And during that period of ASU strike, Adamu Emino mentioned the Minister of Education. Minister of Education, he was seen taking picture with his son overseas during his graduation. And while we here in Nigeria, we're locked down.
When you say last year,
Not last year. This during the 2017. Yes. He was seen taking picture with his son while the school in his own country is locked down. So you see, this
just quote you, please. That lockdown, don't say it. It's reminding us of 2020.
okay, not lockdown, ASU strike.
Okay.
Yes, ASU strike. Because I feel the whole issue. The whole issue is this. They feel they can tamper with the system because they are not affected even after tampering with the system. If the Minister of Education decide to look down on the education, it will not affect him because none of his children is here. So if they say they want to take 20 years to resolve the issue, they will be calm about it. So that's it.
So, wow. Okay. So for what you just said, that means anybody in charge of the educational system should be present, or the people with them should be present in the place they're in charge of. Wow, that's amazing. But to be frank, I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed it. But everything you said, you said government is the issue. It's on you. I didn't say anything. But thank you very much, Chukwu Justice, for this wonderful episode of On This Table. Thank you very much.
Thank you also.
Thank you very much. And this, I think we're rounding up now. So thank you very much for watching us. Thank you very much for attending this or being a part of this episode of On This Table. I remain your host, Ifunanya Davidson. And for more of this, you can kindly follow us on our YouTube channel, Kingsprimetv, on our Instagram, Kingsprimetv official, on our Facebook, Kingsprimetv. And do not forget to vote for your favorite participant on our website, cradletofame.com, www.cradletofame.com, because we've started, the evictions are on, everything is going on. So please do not forget to vote for your Cradle to Fame participant. I remain your beloved host, Ifunanya Davidson. Thank you very much.
All right, my people, better than come again. What am I talking about? Cradle to Fame TV show. Our housemates are entertaining. They have raw talent, so trust me, you will enjoy the show. How do you watch the show? Go on our social media platforms, Cradle to Fame, or better still, on YouTube at Kingsprimetv. Kingsprimetv on YouTube, so that you can enjoy the show. We have first prize, second prize, third prize, even card day. Now, how do you vote? Log into www.cradletofame.com. www.cradletofame.com. Click on your favorite housemate's picture and follow prompt. Voting cost 15 naira only. And guess what? On the 4th week, I just storm the house. Yeah, there's a dollar coming too. So on the 4th week, you go double choke. I love you all. No the hype nonsense.